Hey, what's new and exciting? Kevin O'Shaughnessy here, and in this video, I'm going to show you a very cool technique on how to record drums so that editing drums is easy. If you're new to the channel, I'm an independent hard rock recording artist, music producer, and teacher. And my mission is to help you simplify what seems to be really complicated, fill in the potholes of knowledge, and clear away some roadblocks so you can smooth out your path to making great music. If that sounds helpful to you, go ahead and subscribe. I promise you won't be disappointed. So let's jump into this here. Drum editing, okay? I think most people would agree that drum editing is kind of hard, and there's a lot of reasons for that. But when I was studying film scoring at Berklee, I learned about a very cool technique called overlapping cues. As a matter of fact, you've probably seen something very similar to this when it comes to recording vocals or guitars, but I don't really see a lot of people talking about this with regards to drums, and I think this is awesome. So check this out. A cue in a film is any piece of music that shows up in that film. So of course there are many cues. And when you overlap, you take the tail of one cue and you let that play out over the introduction of the following cue. And if you do it right, the result is a seamless piece of music. You have to take some time to map it out in advance. So when I was recording the song Cast Aside for my album Persistence of Vision, we were a little pressed for time, and there was a very specific groove for this song, so this seemed like a pretty good opportunity to take advantage of this technique. We broke the song up into sections, the intro, the verse, the chorus, and recorded one section at a time. This can be tricky if the part is too complicated or the drummer isn't up for it, but the results are pretty seamless. And so it's kind of riddled all over this thing, but here's a really good example of how this works. We were coming into the coda of the song, and what I did, since it's usually cymbal bleed that makes drum editing so hard, I set up different tracks. You can see here I've got my hi-hat, my ride, my overhead left, and my overhead right. And then I did an overlap hi-hat, an overlap overhead. Wow, try saying that a few times fast. Overlap overhead left and an overlap overhead right. And so this is the effect. When I put it all together, this is what it sounds like. All right, pretty seamless, right? Now, let me show you what's going on in just the regular overhead. So I'm going to kill the drums and I'm going to kill the overlap tracks. And this is what's happening. Actually, let me try that again. I still have the kick drum track in there. So this is what's happening. Now you hear how that cymbal is really allowed to ring out, which is fantastic, right? So now here's what's going on in the overlap overheads. Now if I put the two sets of overheads together, this is what it sounds like. And if I put the rest of the drums in there, we get this. So you can hear that this sounds like one take, and that's what we're going for. It's also good to know that the length of the overlap doesn't matter. I chose to do a whole fill, but you could just do one beat. Let's say you record a verse going into a chorus. Well, let the drummer record the fill at the end of the verse and hit the crash cymbal at the beginning of the chorus. Let that cymbal ring out. Then when you record the chorus, have him miss the cymbal and just line up the two kick drums. Everything else should be in time. It's definitely helpful to do this to a click, but you don't really have to. So I hope this helped you out. If it did, subscribe to the channel so I can send you more great tips and tricks on performance, production, and songwriting. And leave me a comment. Try this technique out and let me know how it worked for you. I'm Kevin O'Shaughnessy. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll catch you in the next video.